Hi and welcome to a Thornley TMD update. It's the 13th of April. I can't believe the last time I did a video was January. I've got no idea where February went, certainly know where March went. It's a busy time for new car registration, so that was my time spent. And the weather down in Somerset has been bloody awful. So much rain. The last thing I wanted to do was come home from work and come out in the pissing rain into the cabin. Welcome to the cabin. For those who haven't been to see a Thornley TMD video, this is my little abode where everything will happen eventually. Thornley TMD was in here originally, but it's gone to James at DCC Train Automation. It's been dismantled and it's been reframed. We've done that over the last month. Haven't been able to get down to James's shop in the last month. A lot of things have been happening in James with exhibitions, etc. So it was only really yesterday that I've managed to get down there for the first time in a month, and we've managed to progress a little bit more with the Thornley TMD layout. Mainly yesterday we were doing the board number 2, the wiring and servo retesting and wiring to make sure that everything was working. And thankfully, fingers crossed, everything was. And also I managed to paint the framework of board number 1 where we've got the 8-row depot, and so that's all done. So we've still got boards 2 and 3 to paint. And also on board number 3 where the oil terminal is, I've managed to do a bit of more scenery, and because we've now got some new framing around the outside, we wanted to give it a little bit more scenery in the far corner where the oil terminal is. So I've built up a layer of polystyrene, cut it with a cutting knife and added some scenery, and I think it looks really good. I'll put some pictures on here. For those who don't follow on Facebook would have seen it, but for those who just follow on YouTube you wouldn't, so I'll put some photographs and show you what's been done. So while Thornley TMD's been down at James's shop, cabin's been empty, and I've been doing a bit of O-gauge work and bought a service shed, and that's been taking my spare time in the evenings building that, and I'll show you how we're getting on with that now. So after dismantling Thornley TMD in the cabin, there was a fair bit of wood left over, so what I've decided to do is to build a little diorama for the service shed. And this little diorama measures 40 inches long and just 8 inches wide, enough to show the service shed and a loco to come in and out. Although my class 60 is going to be the main one to showcase, I may need to add an extension. So this is the OKED service shed. It's been designed and made by a company called Intensio. It's an MDF kit. It comes in a load of bits, and it's been taking a while to complete, and to be honest it's been a thoroughly enjoyable project. It's a lot harder and a lot more work that I've decided to do than maybe most people who perhaps will buy this, because it's MDF. Obviously the base soaks up paint very quickly, so it's a matter of spray painting, sanding, spray painting, sanding to get it a nice base. Obviously there's no track. There is a inspection pit, although it's not in there at the moment. There's the gap, and obviously that track in there has all been hand laid, because obviously I've had to disconnect a piece of Pico Trek, take all the sleepers off, purchase some new chairs, glue them down and make sure that the gap was spot on. But I did buy a tool that allows us to make sure that that was the case. That's all been weathered. I'm not quite sure, oh sorry, not the shed, if you can actually see inside the shed. It's quite dark in there. We've managed to weather the concrete. I've done additional concrete, as you can see. It's sort of like stipply. That's a concrete effect paint, and down where this chairs are, the rails. It's had a lot of grime and gunk, oil stains, etc. There's the door. Got the safety sign up now, and also added some drain covers. Oh, that's a bit more light there. Drain cover there, and another one inside. What I've also done over the last couple of weeks is that, if I move the camera back, is installed some cabling. Now it's to come out on the side. This is basically a replica of Westbury service shed down in Wiltshire, and I've added some piping that goes along the top, and as you can see, there's some wiring that comes out each section, and to drill a hole and get the wires through was quite difficult, made me go cross-eyed, but I took it down to show James yesterday, and we're going to come up with a prototype fluorescent light that we're going to have 6 on each side. We may redo the wiring because apparently that wiring's a bit thick, and he wondered how the hell I managed to thread it through. But James is going to come up with a prototype fluorescent light, and we're going to get the actual lens part 3D printed, and we're going to put 6 on this side, saying 6 on the other, have it all connected up. Obviously the inspection pit, if I can find the inspection pit, just bear with me, here we go. So the inspection pit, again, MDF, I'll just lay it there, you can see, MDF has been built, it's all been painted and weathered. It looks a bit weird here, but when it's underneath the inspection pit, and obviously there's room for an LED light there, there and there, either side, the steps, and again I think I added a manhole cover there as well. It's all been weathered, and hopefully when that fits in and all it up, it'll look quite nice. With the diorama I've just added, this is just basically cork. I've added 2 layers of cork on because effectively that is the same height as the sleepers, and obviously we'll add some ballast. This service shed is going to eventually go on Project Zero, although it won't be called Project Zero forever. There will be a new name which will be announced at some stage. I've got 3 I'm just going to choose from, and I might even get my Thornley Facebook followers to make the decision for me. We'll decide about that. But I thought while I'm waiting for the double gauge Thornley to be sold, I would display this and go from there. So we've got the roof on. The corrugated roof has been painted, but I've got to weather it. Obviously there's side glass to go in and framing, but until we get the fluorescent lights we can't do any more. Obviously the brick is all laser cut. Not sure if I can bring that up close and show you. Let's have a look and see if we can get a better display. They are separate MDF parts. Obviously all the mortar grooves are all done, and that is basically Halford's red oxide primer. And after the 3rd attempt and a new set of brick panels, because I failed miserably on the first lot, that mortar has been done by polyfiller, would you believe? Powder polyfiller, made very runny. Wipe it all over the brick panels in a downward motion, and then wipe it off in a cross motion. The polyfiller stays in the mortar gaps. Wipe it off, and I think that's come out quite well. In fact, I think it's come out extremely well. Needs a bit of weathering just to make it complete, but we'll do that most probably when the shed has been completely built. Obviously the white walls were Halford's white primer, and I've painted the uprights as well. This is looking at the original from Westbury. They had the internal walls painted white and the frames up there, so I thought I'd copy that. And again, bit of weathering on the inside, white walls, because you never see clean walls, not in a 1990s service shed anyway. You might do in a 2018 maintenance shed now with health and safety, but back in the 90s we liked a bit of grime and grease and dirt, and that's exactly what we're trying to replicate here on the service shed. So that's come out really well, so far so good, but that will most probably now take a back seat while we're waiting asked for a prototype fluorescent light to be made, and we will see how that goes, and we'll most probably do a video on that when they've been installed. So we'll go back to James's shop. Next Wednesday we'll continue with Thornley. Thornley is obviously going to be my main priority now. I need to get that sold, and that will come up for sale hopefully end of April, beginning of May. There's a few people who've created an interest in it. Haven't worked out the total cost yet. There's going to be a lot more that's been added to it since the original offer of sale back in December, January, I can't remember now, when it was you come and take it apart and rewire it and do it yourself. Everything's been done now, the framework, more cost, more wiring, etc. So it's going to be a proper exhibition layout. The only thing that anybody who buys it will have to decide whether they want to extend it with a fiddle yard at the end or down the side, which I was going to do in my cabin over there. In fact, I've still got the fiddle yard there that most probably could be available to someone if they really, really want it. But obviously everybody's shed, loft is all different, so it may not work with you guys. It will be offered to those people who've created an interest first. It's only fair. If they're not interested anymore, which I understand may well be the case, it's been some time, then it will be offered for sale on the Thornley TMD Facebook page and other groups within Facebook, most probably. It certainly isn't going to be going on eBay because I don't think it will need to be honest. I think it will sell. It will be a great layout when it's done. It will all be computerized, but we'll also give you the option to run the layout as a normal DCC with a handheld controller, so you can have a choice how you want to run the layout. So that'll all be done, hopefully sold by the end of the month, May, and then all the 00 stuff will be sold, 50 plus locos that will go up for sale, a bit of rolling stock, track, accessories, etc, etc. Again, that will all go on the Thornley Facebook page first, 24 hours, I'll put that up before it goes up for sale anywhere else. So anybody that follows Thornley, and as a thank you for following, you'll get first option to purchase any locos that may be of interest to you. I haven't come up with any prices or anything yet. I might even do a video of every single loco running and showing if it's got sound, etc, so you can see it's all working, and then obviously we'll come up with prices. I might even give the person who purchases Thornley TMD the option to buy any locos, because I think that might be quite courteous to do. Somebody who spends quite a bit of money on buying Thornley could save a little bit of money on locos, or at least have the locos to start a nice exhibition layout. So hopefully that will be very, very soon, but we've still got boards 1 to check, but thankfully there's only 2 points on that one. It's all the 8-road depot, so we'll just double check that all 108 LED lights work in the inspection pit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that they still do. They were a right pain to do. And board 3 has, I think, 8 or 9 points. There's a little bit of work to do there, and obviously on the head shunt that needs to be checked over as well, and I think there's most probably a few points where the wiring all needs to be changed, and we'll test it all, we'll put it all together, paint it all up, and I think we'll end up doing a video down at James's shop of it operating to its potential with of Thornley TMD locos. Hopefully after that as well we will have an announcement to make. Can't say anything at the moment, but fingers crossed again that something exciting is going to be happening very soon. And then obviously once Thornley gets sold, we can crack on with Project Zero and start building that layout. I'm looking forward to doing that. Certainly learnt a lot building Thornley TMD. It was 2.5 years since that was started. Learned a hell of a lot. Thank you to James at DCC Train Automation for his knowledge and his expertise during my build. And again, speaking of James, James has just launched a brand new website, absolutely amazing, dcctrainautomation.co.uk as far as I'm aware, and he's kindly offering a 15% discount on DCC concept items. So if any of you guys are looking to go digital, or you haven't actually got all your stuff ready, give James a ring or visit his website. You'll need to go to Facebook for the offer of 15%, but I'll put a link below here. I'm sure James won't mind if I do that for him. Going back to January, or might even been before, where I said I'd highlight a few layouts that I like and I think you guys will like as well. Most probably some of you are already subscribers of these two channels. So I'm going to do two channels again this month. The first one that's highly recommended has been around for quite a while in his loft, and recently decided to build a small exhibition layout, but has recently just come onto YouTube. Created a YouTube channel less than a month ago, nearly up to 300 subscribers, which is fantastic. So I'm going to see if we can get Marcus some more subscribers. Gowerton Parkway is his loft layout, fantastic layout, and his exhibition layout is called Talbot Lane. It's a small depot layout which is great for exhibitions to highlight your locos. Marcus does his own weathering, detailing, etc. And it does focus on modern image. It most probably carries on from where Thornley does, the late 90s and early 2000s, and is a mainly EWS. I suppose someone's got to like them. But no, great layout. Thoroughly recommend you going over to see Marcus's layout on YouTube, and please do subscribe. We can help fellow modelers on YouTube and build up their subscriber base if you haven't already done so. Again, I'll put the link below, and take a view over there and see what you think. The other layout I'm going to recommend this month is from a gentleman called Jamie, and his layout is called Penny Hill Junction, another loft layout. There's a lot of guys out there with loft layouts. Unfortunately, I live in a modern house and I've got struts everywhere, so hence why I built my cabin. I outgrew the office upstairs, so I built a 12-foot by 10-foot log cabin, whereas a lot of you guys do loft layouts. There's a few of us in sheds. Gary at Chicotech, I know, is a shed man, good old Gary, and it's nice to see loft layouts on YouTube. And Jamie's Penny Hill Junction, coming on in leaps and bounds, just building a station, and apparently I'm the guilty partner for recommending flask trains on his layout. Apparently he's watched my Bridgewater flask videos and went out and bought a Class 68 and some flasks, so do apologise Jamie, but they do look spot on your layout. Talking of Bridgewater flasks, haven't been down there for months. The weather's been atrocious, and unfortunately they have been running on a Tuesday. I have Wednesdays off normally, apart from this week, which was Thursday, but they've been running on Tuesdays. The last couple of weeks they have been running on Wednesdays, but last week it was absolutely pissing it down, excuse my French, and this week obviously I had to change days off, so I don't know when I'll get down to the station next to film, to be honest. Can't remember the last time I took the video camera out and filmed the real world on trains, which is a shame, but hopefully with the warmer weather, the lighter evenings, we might get up to Tamworth maybe in May. But obviously with Thornley being continued and trying to sell and Project Zero and whatever, that might fall by the wayside. So anyway, Jamie's Penny Hill Junction, again, link down below. Certainly a very modern image, even got the latest GWR units out there on his layout. Certainly one to recommend. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, pop over, have a look, have a like, have a subscribe, and watch his channels. I think that's about it for this month. Again, sorry for not putting in any videos, it's been busy, but hopefully we'll now start to do a few more. Again, a big thanks to James at DCC Train Automation for his help over the past month or so. Again, feel free to go and have a look at his new website. It's fantastic. It's even better on mobile. It's absolutely amazing speed. Lots of products on there, and I'm sure James will be adding more and more products on there. So if you're just getting into DCC and need some advice or expertise or help, give James a ring. I'm sure he'll give you his advice. He's certainly helped me over the last 2.5 years, and I think I'd be lost without him and his expertise. So again, feel free to contact James, and just mention myself, Steve at Thornley TMD. It'd be nice that he can know that he's getting recommended by people out there. Anyway, I won't waffle on any more, and we'll see you very, very soon, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.